This isn't a reaction channel, but there will be reactions. So today I want to cover the absolutely crazy press conference between Zelenskyy, the president of Ukraine, Trump, and JD Vance. So I'm just going to jump right into it.
What's your message for them?
Well, if I didn't align myself with both of them,
Brace
you'd never
yourself.
have a deal. You want me to say really terrible things about Putin and then
Yes.
say, "Hi, Vladimir, how are we doing on the deal?" That doesn't work that way. I'm not aligned with Putin. I'm not aligned with anybody. I'm aligned with the United States of America. And for the good
By the way, it's in our interest to help Ukraine. So no, Trump, you're not aligned with the interests of the United States.
of the world, I'm aligned with the world. And I want to get this thing over with. You see the hatred he's got for Putin. It's very tough for me to make
I wonder why he hates Putin.
a deal with that kind of hate. He's got tremendous hatred. And I understand that, but I can tell you the other side isn't exactly in love with, him either. So it's not a question of alignment. I'm aligned with the world. I want to get the thing set. I'm aligned with Europe. I want to see if we can get this thing done. You want me to be tough? I could be tougher than any human being you've ever seen. I'd be
Please
so
be tough on Putin.
But you're never going to get a deal that way, so that's the way it goes. All right, one more question.
Hey, I want to respond to this. So look, for 4 years in the United States of America, we had a president who stood up at press conferences and talked tough about Vladimir Putin, and then Putin invaded Ukraine and destroyed a significant...
I mean, okay, so was Biden really talking tough about Putin before he invaded? I mean, I don't really remember that. I mean, talking tough about Putin? Like, yeah, maybe after the invasion, but not before. Like, what are you trying to imply? I don't know.
Chunk of the country. The path to peace and the path to prosperity is maybe engaging in diplomacy. We tried the...
Sure, diplomacy, but the diplomacy has to be done right. It has to be, you have to find an agreement that both sides can agree to. Do you understand that, JD?
pathway of Joe Biden of thumping our chest and pretending that the President of the United States' words mattered more than the President of the United States' actions. What makes America a good country is America engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
Can I ask you?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So he occupied our parts, big parts of Ukraine, part of East and Crimea. So he occupied it on 2014. So during a lot of years, so I'm not speaking about just Biden, but those time was Obama, then President Obama, then President Trump, then President Biden, now the President Trump, and God bless, now President Trump will stop him. But during 2014, nobody stopped him. He just occupied and took. He killed people. You know what the contact
2015.
2014.
2014 and 2014.
Yeah. So
I was not here.
Yeah, but
That's exactly right.
Yes, but during 2014 till 2022, the situation the same. The people have been dying on the contact line. Nobody stopped him. You know that we had conversations with him, a lot of conversation, my bilateral conversation, and we signed with him, me, like a new president. In 2019, I signed with him the deal. I signed with him, Macron and Merkel, we signed ceasefire. Ceasefire. All of them told me that he will never go. We signed him with gas contract. Yes, but after that, he broken this ceasefire. He killed our people and he didn't.
Because without those guarantees, why should they make peace right now? They may as well keep fighting Russia while they're weaker.
Exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr. President,
The problem is, if you really care about the destruction of Ukraine, you have to think about it in the long term. If you make peace now, and then Russia just invades again in a few years, what good is it? You're just going to get even more Ukrainians killed and even more of Ukraine destroyed. So if you really care about them, Why would you not seek to get the kind of security guarantees that Ukraine needs to ensure that they'll be safe in the future? Not to mention, Ukraine will require investment to help them rebuild after the war ends from governments and from companies. Who is going to invest in them if people think that Russia will just invade again in the future? No one. They're not going to be able to rebuild properly. Meanwhile, Russia will just rebuild their military and invade again. They've done this multiple times. Why wouldn't they just do it again? Why on earth would Ukraine ever make peace now when Russia is already weakened? Why would they let them get strong again just to have them get invaded again? You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
With respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media.
Okay, it's not disrespectful. He's just trying to make his point as to why they need security guarantees. It's not disrespectful just because they happen to disagree with you.
Now you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems.
Forcing conscripts, you know what? I don't support that. The Vietnam War was wrong. We shouldn't have done it. But you know what? Even to save South Vietnam,
You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Come once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happened. Propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military? And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
I don't think he's really attacking them. I mean, look at like what he's saying. He's never raising his voice. He's just trying to make his case.
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
Okay, I think what he means is that, yes, we are protected by our oceans. We're not going to be invaded by anyone. However, we still feel the effects of war. If Europe gets into a state of war, because remember, Russia isn't going to stop at Ukraine. They're going to keep going into Moldova, into Georgia, into the Baltics, into Poland. That is their ambition. They're not going to stop. So what do you think is going to happen if the European Union goes into a general state of war? They're not going to buy our products. They're going to spend their money on their military. They're not going to produce consumer goods or commercial goods that we can then buy instead. They're going to be making military goods, okay? Our largest trading partner will be at war. Can we understand how this is bad for our economy? And this is what I want people to understand. If Ukraine falls, it's very bad for us. For purely selfish motivations, we need them.
God bless. You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that.
That's
Remember
exactly what
this.
you're doing.
You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good.
You will feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have. You're gambling with World War III.
Yeah.
And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. That's back to you. Far.
Hey, for the record, I'm an American citizen, and I'm not disrespected by Zelenskyy. So, I don't know, Trump. Speak for yourself.
More than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once this entire meeting? No.
Okay. Now here comes Vance. Have you said thank you once? I'm looking like a pufferfish, motherfucker. Let me just say, from what I've seen, every single aid package that Ukraine has received from the United States, they have said thank you. There's also countless videos of individual Ukrainian soldiers and civilians saying thank you to us. So how many thanks do we really need?
Have you said thank you? You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for.
Okay, I feel like I'm stopping this so often, but the thing with these people is that they're post-truth, right? They just lie constantly. So I have to stop. Okay, I'm sorry. The idea that Zelenskyy went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for Kamala Harris, because in Scranton, Pennsylvania is the Army manufacturing plant where they build artillery shells that get delivered to Ukraine. So Zelenskyy toured the artillery shells. Yes, he toured it with a Pennsylvania governor who happens to be a Democrat, but he was not campaigning.
States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you
He's
can...
not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country's in big trouble.
Can I
Wait a
answer?
minute. No,
Can
you've
I
done a lot
answer?
of talking. Your
He
country
really
is
hasn't,
in
because you
big
keep
trouble.
interrupting.
I know.
You're not
I
winning.
know.
You're not winning this.
I,
You have a damn good chance of
we are
coming out
staying,
okay because of
Mr.
us.
President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning.
Well, because he's saying we need security guarantees. This is not disrespect. He's being as nice as he can. The problem is that Trump and Vance don't support Ukraine. They support Russia. Let's just be real about this. Like, they support Russia. So, like, what do you expect him to do at this point? I mean, I think he's making a good case for the country. He's not just, sucking up to Trump and, like, giving in to every demand. He's actually sticking up for his country and his people. What do you expect? Any country would have their leader say the exact same things if they were in Ukraine's circumstances.
Of the war, we've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
You haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet,
You
and
haven't
not
been
only
alone.
in this cabinet.
We gave you, through
I
this
said thank
stupid
you.
president, $350 billion.
You voted
We gave
for
It's not 350 billion. It's a little bit over 100 billion.
you
your
military equipment.
You
Oh,
and
and
you-
by the way, in terms of economic and military aid, Europe has given more.
Men are brave, but they had to use our military.
What about
if,
West
if
speaking?
you didn't have
You
our
invited
military
me-
equipment,
you invited
if
me
you
to
didn't
speak.
have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
in 3
okay?
days. I heard it from Putin. In 3 days, this is something
Maybe
huge.
less.
In
Military
2 weeks,
operation.
of course he has.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this. I
Again,
tell you.
just say thank you.
I said a lot of times
that
thank
there,
you
accept
to
that,
American people.
accept that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know that you're wrong.
But you see, I think it's good for the American people to see what's going on
I
over
understand,
there.
sir.
I think it's
I
very
understand.
important. That's why I kept this going so long. You have to be thankful. You don't have the
I'm
cards.
thankful.
You're buried there. Your people are dying.
tell you
You're
again,
running low
I
on
know.
soldiers.
Don't-
Listen,
don't, please,
you're running
Mr.
low on
President.
soldiers. It would be a damn good thing.
Mr.
And then
President.
then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go and I want this. Look, if you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting killed.
Of course, we want to stop the war.
But you're
I
saying
said,
you don't want a ceasefire.
But I said to you,
I want a ceasefire.
with guarantees.
Because you'll get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That wasn't
doesn't
with
matter
me.
for you what-
that
what
wasn't
this
with me.
means. It
That was
wasn't
with
with you.
a guy named Biden, who was not a smart person.
But this
That
is
was
your-
with,
this
that was
is
with
your
Obama.
It was your president.
Excuse me. That was with Obama, who gave you sheets, and I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets. In fact, the statement is Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins. You got to be more thankful, because let me tell you, you don't have the cards. With us, you have the cards, but without us, you don't have any cards.
One more question to Mr. Vice President. I'm sorry, here.
It's going to be a tough deal to make,
Um,
because the attitudes have to change.
what if Russia breaks ceasefire? What if Russia breaks peace talks? What do you do then? I understand that it's a heated conversation right now.
What are you
but
saying?
That's a very good question. What if Russia breaks the ceasefire? What will you do?
what
She's
if
asking, what if Russia
Putin
breaks the
breaks
ceasefire?
for the
What if anything? What if a bomb drops on your head?
What if a bomb falls on your head? I mean, okay, well, they've broken the ceasefires multiple times. They invaded them twice in years, so I think what's going on. What if a bomb falls on your head? Like, dude, they've already invaded twice. ceasefires. Ukraine has very good reason to think they'll just do it again.
right now.
But they have
Like, that's a legitimate question. He's like portraying it as a joke.
Okay? What if they broke it? I don't know. They broke it with Biden because Biden, they didn't respect him. They didn't respect Obama. They respect me.
Yeah, they respect you. No, they're using you.
Let me tell you, Putin went through a hell of a lot with me. He went through a phony witch hunt where they used him and Russia. Russia. You ever hear of that deal? That was a phony Hunter Biden, Joe Biden scam. Hillary Clinton, Shifty Adam Schiff. It was a
He's just naming
Democrat
Democrats
scam.
now.
And he had to go through that. And he did go through it. We didn't end up in a war. And he went through it. He was accused of all that stuff. He had nothing to do with it. It came out of Hunter Biden's bathroom. It came out of Hunter Biden's bedroom. It was
The
disgusting.
bathroom, the bedroom, the living room, the master bedroom, the foyer. What is he talking about?
And then they said, oh, the laptop from hell was made by Russia, the 51 agents. The whole thing was a scam. And he had to put up with that. He was being accused of all that stuff. All I can say is this. He might have broken deals with Obama and Bush, and he might have broken them with Biden. He did, maybe. Maybe he didn't. I don't know what happened. But he didn't
You don't
break
know
them
much,
with
do
me.
you?
He wants to make a deal. I don't know if you can make a deal. The problem is, I've empowered you to be a tough guy. And I don't think you'd be a tough guy without the United States. And your people are very brave. But you're either going to make a deal or we're out. And if we're out, you'll fight it out. I don't think it's going to be pretty, but you'll fight it out. But you don't have the cards. But once we sign that deal, you're in a much better position. But you're not acting at all thankful. And that's not a nice thing. I'll be honest, that's not a nice thing. All right, I think we've seen enough. What do you think? Huh? This is going to be great television, I will say that.
Yeah, that's all that matters. Is great television.
We'll see what we can do about putting it together. Thank you. We'll see. I don't know.
And I think that's about it. Yeah, man, like, why should Ukraine agree to peace if their security isn't guaranteed in the long term? Because Russia will just take advantage of the opportunity to rebuild their military, rebuild their economy, learn from the mistakes that they made in the past, and then invade again, as they already have. Like, Ukraine knows this. Anyone who knows about the conflict in general knows about this. Anyone who knows about negotiations knows this. This really isn't that much of an ask for them. It doesn't even have to be NATO membership. It could just be like some type of multilateral guarantee of European countries plus the US, where we promise to support Ukraine if they get invaded again by Russia. But apparently, I don't know, Trump doesn't understand that. But, Trump is both stupid and ignorant. So he just doesn't know what's going on, and he has phone calls with Vladimir Putin. Also, I want to cover this clip too.
And my second question for President Zelensky. Why don't you wear a suit? Why don't you wear a suit? You're the highest level in this country's office, and you refuse to wear a suit. Just want to see if do you own a suit?
Yeah, problems.
A lot of Americans have problems with you not
Really?
respecting
I don't have
the
such.
office.
I will wear a costume after this war will finish.
Okay.
Yes, maybe one.
Maybe something like this.
Something like
Yes,
yours.
sir.
Yes.
That'd be great.
Maybe something better. I don't know. We will see. Maybe something cheaper than. Yeah. Thank you.
President Trump, you said yesterday.
So the reason why he doesn't wear a suit is because he's standing in solidarity with the Ukrainian soldiers who are fighting for the existence of their country, as well as all of these civilians who have to bear the cost of war and who are contributing to the war effort. He doesn't wear a suit to remind people of what it's like to be the leader of a country at war. Something Americans don't really know what it's like anymore, because we haven't been invaded in a very long time. And I want to show some pictures of, oh look, hey, it's Zelensky in a suit. How about that? Wow. Look at this. Okay, that's not a suit, but it's because it's irrelevant to the picture. But look, there he is again. It's Zelenskyy in a suit. How about that? Well, isn't that crazy? He's like actually wearing a suit. It's almost like he actually does own them, and he has a good reason for not wearing them, huh? By the way, did you guys see Marco Rubio's expression during this interview? This is not a guy who's happy with what's going on. Marco Rubio is a Ukraine supporter, but his position forces him to suck up to Trump and just do whatever Trump wants. And in doing so, he has to sell out his values, but at the same time, look, don't sympathize with him. He's going along with this. He's not helping out Ukraine. He's not trying to advocate for them. He's sitting here. Yes, he's uncomfortable. He doesn't like what's happening, but what is he doing to stop it? I don't know. Not much.